Welcome into AllSooners, John Hoover, along with Randall Sweet, and today we got a special guest, Oklahoma's most recent commit. It's Daniel Akinkunmi. Daniel, welcome to AllSooners. Good to see you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Let's get that out of the way first. Let's clear up so everybody can understand, everybody can hear it for themselves. How do you pronounce your last name?
Daniel Akinkunmi.
There you go, people. That's all you need to know. Daniel Akinkunmi. All right. Hey, let's talk about you come to Oklahoma. You're extremely rare, extremely unique. You come to Oklahoma from the United Kingdom, from the UK, from jolly old England. Tell us about the NFL Academy. How in the world did you get started with the NFL Academy? How much went into being in the academy and getting to where you are right now?
Yeah, so I started out playing basketball. Basketball was my main sport before football, or American football, as we call it in the UK. I had to realize I was not going to make it in basketball. That's the original sport I wanted to go Division One in. And I decided to make the change. American football was up and coming. The academy opened in 2019, so it had been around 2020. I joined my local club. For us, it's BAFA. So I joined Sheffield Giants. Was my team, played there for like a season and a half, but our recreational football is 9v9 or 5v5. So I played 9v9. So it's not 11-man football. So I'd never played 11-man football until I came to the academy. So I just started posting clips of me playing 9v9 football on the internet, me going to the gym. And so I get a bunch of interest from multiple high schools, the academy. I'm the only child, so I decided to go close from home and felt like the NFL Academy was the best option for me at the time. The NFL Academy is an amazing program where people from 16 all the way to 19 have opportunities to learn football for 2 to 3 years. We have amazing coaching staff. We have amazing support from the NFL, Loughborough College, Loughborough University. And it's just been amazing. For my first year being at Barnet and Southgate, I had to actually travel 3 hours there and back just to make the trip to the NFL Academy. Was in London, Barnet and Southgate at the time, because I recently moved out of East London to Doncaster. So I had to make the trip 3 hours, waking up at 4 a.m., getting there roughly just about 9 a.m., and then coming back, having gym after training, because obviously I couldn't make it to the morning sessions, and then to getting home around probably 11:30ish, and then packing up and getting ready, and we'll have to go to bed around midnight. I used to meal prep every single night on Sunday for the whole entire week, because I never had time to go out buy food, because majority of my time went to training, to doing homework, to doing assignments, to learn the game of football. So I never had time. So I used to make breakfast, lunch, dinner, and have a couple snacks. I actually used to have a portable microwave with me, because there was just one, like after a couple months I got tired of eating cold rice, cold pasta, what tasted the same. So I decided to get a portable microwave to heat up the food, so I'm able to have actual warm food. So my first one was definitely hard, but I think that really helped me to show my passion and my drive for the sport. We went to 2 trips that year to the US. Our first one is where we went to a camp in Baltimore. We also visited multiple Division One schools like Maryland, Penn State, Towson, Villanova, a couple others. Then my second trip, where I actually got my first 8 offers, is we did the Texas circuit. So we went to Houston, SMU, and TCU mega camps. This is where I performed as a sophomore. This is with me only playing 6 months, 7 months of football. I was blessed to get 8 Division One offers my first sophomore year. Then into my second year, where the academy had to move to Loughborough College and Loughborough University, it was an amazing change for me, because I was there traveling all the time. So for me to be able to be on campus and literally no more than 20 minutes circle for all the places I need to be was absolutely amazing. Like, I was actually able to get a good night's sleep of rest, because I did not have to wake up at crazy hours just to hop on a train and get down to London. So I really think after that happened, I started getting rest and recovery, what led to my performance to skyrocket through the roof. Like, the improvements I've seen was crazy, especially with the amount of staff and help we've been getting from the NFL and Loughborough University. It's been amazing. Like, my performance just started skyrocket. And then we went to camps again. This time we went to around the southeast. So we went to Georgia, Clemson, Mercer, Georgia State. This trip was very amazing, very fun. And I was blessed to probably get around 25 plus offers just from this trip.
Wow.
So it was a very successful trip, and I really felt like I was able to show my talents on that trip because I was more prepared, more ready because I've already been to the States and done camps my sophomore year. And I feel like it really just prepared me to where I am today of making my decision to go to the University of Oklahoma.
That's an incredible amount of commitment by you and your family. Does it feel like that when you're going through it?
Yes, it definitely felt like that at the beginning. But once you start getting rewarded, it becomes more of a fun thing to do. Like, the beginning is always the hardest, but as soon as you start getting into that motion of everything happening and you get rewarded for your progression, you start to fall in love with the progression and let the rewards just come to you.
Interesting. American football in the UK has grown and grown and grown. Tell us about how much UK fans have really taken to the game.
Yeah, there's been a completely different shift within American football or watching the NFL over here. The London games are just getting bigger and bigger. Flag football starting to become part of secondary school culture. What is like high school, younger high school for you guys. And it's just amazing to see the sport grow this much. We're starting to get to a point where kids can now say, "Oh, I want to play NFL. I want to be in the stadium, in Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, playing the game." Like, that's amazing. Like, the last game we just had was a record for how many people attended the game. I think it was 61,000 people. Like, that's amazing. That's how you know the game is growing to a point where we're starting to break records of attendance of the game. And it's just great to see the sport grow this much because it helps me and everyone else around me who want to do the same thing as I'm doing to get to the level where I am.
You a Jaguars fan at all? I know they're in your city a lot.
No, I'm not, but they are in our city quite often.
Tell us about when you knew Oklahoma was kind of the right program for you, not just to commit, but you know there was a lot of reports and a lot of rumors that you were going to commit for a long time before you did. What was it about Oklahoma? What and when did you know?
Yeah, so for me, it was on my visit. I feel like that's what made the whole thing settle in and made me realize, oh, it was a place for me. The first day was a bit rocky. The second day was tremendous for me. Getting to see that my first ever college football game was great. To see how much the team has improved was amazing, was phenomenal. Like, for them to improve in such a short amount of time within a year is impressive. Like, for Coach Venables to do that, you can just see the drive and the passion for the team this year. Like, they're going out just to win championships and natties. They're not here just to try and make it to the league. I feel like with this team, they're trying to live in the moment, taking every single day, every single play as is their loss. And I feel that's something what makes a special culture. And I really felt like I needed to be a part of it. Another big factor was when after the Arkansas State game, me and Coach Venabo went to his office and watched the whole entire game back on film. Like, watching him analyze that film was amazing. Like, we were just watching it normally, and the most tiniest details he will see and analyze and get fed up and frustrated about it. I'm there like, I see it, but I'm not that pissed about it. Like, you can see how much passion he has for the game, and I feel like in that moment right there, I realized why he's such good of a coach, because he's watching this game normally and he's seeing all the smallest details and getting angry at it. Like, to have a coach who sees those details to the most finest details is incredible. Like, that's what makes great NFL players, having movements what are not wasted, doing minimal amount of steps just so you can lock up a person. Like, and then I feel like the last thing will probably be the last day. This is where I actually committed. It was the last day of my visit when we were at Coach Venable's house. We had a conversation with Coach Venables and Coach Schaefer. This is what actually made me and Danny Koya both commit on the spot on our last day of our visit. Coach Schaefer was talking about how his wife was born and bred in Clemson, that she lived in Clemson, her family was in Clemson. And his wife was so amazed on how much Coach Venable helped him as a person, as a man, spiritually, physically. And to hear that his wife was completely fine with the transition to go into Oklahoma just because of Coach Venables was amazing to hear. Like, I've never heard that before from any program. Like, me and Danny Okoye both talked about it after when we both committed. That was the most realist thing we've ever heard. For someone's wife who probably doesn't even know the person that much, just see them improve their husband that much and believe in them so much that they don't mind moving and leaving their family is incredible. Like, you look at that and think, wow, that must mean he's a stand-up guy. He knows how as a coach. He knows to make sure you're ready for not only football but for life. So I actually committed at Coach Venables' house at the end of my visit. I handed my trip. Me and Daniel Akinkunmi both committed on the spot. And I've just been hiding ever since. So I feel like that's why a lot of people somewhat knew, because obviously Danny Akinkunmi was with me on the trip. So when he committed, everyone's like, "Ooh, does that mean Daniel Akinkunmi from the NFL Academy is committed?" So it's just been amazing, to be honest, and I really feel like OU's building something special.
So you mentioned, the relationships that you have with Beatonbow, with Brent Venables. Is that kind of what set OU apart to other schools, or what really put them ahead of some of the other schools that you have offers from?
I really feel like it was the difference of it not feeling like a pitch. It felt like a man-to-man conversation of what they can do for me, what they can provide for me, and just making me want to feel like at home. Like, I felt like they were just talking to me of how they want me to be a better man, better player, and hopefully, if I get to that stage, become a draft pick later on in my time of playing football.
So you mentioned that the first day of your visit was kind of rocky. Can you go into that? What made it rocky?
Yeah, so the first day, me and my mom wasn't really feeling the visit in general. We didn't really know how to feel about it. Me and my mom had a conversation about it. We gave it like a chance. We're like, let's just relax. We had Baylor a month ago. So that was a completely different vibe because it was in June. This is in season. So we're just there talking about how it could be slightly different. So we just kept our cool and just see how the day went on. Like, we just wasn't feeling it in terms of vibe, and it's really hard to explain, but we were just not feeling it in general. Like, from us coming into the day in general.
Well, what did you think of the game day atmosphere in Norman? I mean, I think you were there for Arkansas State, right? Which is, the house was packed. What did you think of that environment?
That environment was amazing. Like, just seeing that in person, because obviously that was my first college game, was incredible. Like, I say this all the time, anytime anyone asks me about this. Seeing that crowd and seeing that environment, hearing them yell and shout, just changed my mentality even more. That I can't be letting any players go. I can't be taking a rep off. I have to be going 100% every single play from now all the way until I finish my career. Like, to see that many people watching you and supporting you is incredible.
That game experience, a 73-0 was the final score of that game. How much did that impact you, knowing that this is a team that can put something like that on the scoreboard while you're in town on your visit? It was crazy.
Yeah, it was definitely crazy. Like, they put on a show for me. Like, it was incredible. Like I'm there sitting there for my first college game in person. That is a memory. Like, to see how they were so efficient on offense and defense was incredible. They were stopping plays left, right, center. They were walking down the field like it was no tomorrow. Like, I just knew from that performance that it's not just a one-off. They're going to do this in multiple teams. Like, when I was watching the game against Texas, where they won against, I knew this team could be something special. Like, they walked down that field in the 2-minute drill like it was nothing. You can tell them rep this out multiple times to a point where they hardly make any mistakes anymore.
Interesting. Daniel, you mentioned Danny Okoye on your visit. He was a guy that you could see on your video, on your visit, your official visit video, that he was a guy you were hanging out with. Jaden Jackson was there.
Yep.
Any other guys that you got to know on that trip? Guys that you're going to be playing with in the future?
Mikey, is it? From QB commit.
Oh yeah,
Michael Hawkins.
Hawkins. Yeah.
Anyone else? I think there were two defensive linemen, but I didn't get a name because we didn't talk
Okay.
too much. We just literally said hi, hello,
Yeah.
and then I think Josh Asusi.
So yeah, from Oklahoma
Yeah,
City.
yeah.
And
those
your
are all
host
the guys
was
I met.
Logan. Your host was Logan Howland. Is that right? What was he like?
Yeah.
Hosting you on your official visit.
Yeah, he was an amazing host. Like he told me everything truthful about his experience of how Coach Venable was, and I feel like that was just very nice to have. Like sometimes on these visits, the coaches tell them and pressure them like, "Oh, say good things all the time," da, 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 da. And I feel like with him, he just said everything how he felt about the program. He didn't have a lot to say bad about it, but he just said incredible things. And from him talking to me as a player, I knew I could see myself here.
So you kind of talked about it already, you know, getting to know Coach Beatonbow. But what do you think? What's your relationship like with Coach Beatonbow? You know, as a whole.
I feel like me and Coach Venable's relationship is very good because I feel like he knows I have a certain mindset what a lot of guys don't have. Like the hunger I have for this game, like you don't understand how much hunger I have for this game. I feel like that's something what coaches don't realize until they see me in person and talk to me about football. It was the same with Baylor. They said to me, said the same thing to me at the end of my trip. They were like, I didn't know you were this passionate. I didn't know you had this much of drive and obsession for the sport. Like I feel like Coach Beanamo just loves that drive and passion. He said to me, every single person who's come in with that type of mentality always becomes an amazing player or top player in the NFL. And I feel like that's why we bonded so quickly because something I've stood by throughout my whole career, as soon as I knew I was going to become something special, was act like a pro before I am a pro. And I think that's something I take very to heart with everything I do.
So you kind of mentioned your work ethic being a real strong point, but what do you think are some of the other strong points of your game right now?
I feel like my mentality, like I love to hit people. Like it's plain and simple. Like my favorite drills and train are like inside run and shoots. Like a lot of people won't expect that. Like for me, I love that. A lot of people be like, "Oh, we have shoots, we have inside run," but for me, I'm like, "Let's go, let's get hitting. Like let's get our pads hot and warm and start booming each other." Like I love things like that, and I feel like that mentality is needed as an offensive lineman. When you love to move someone against their will, it becomes more fun than a job.
For sure. So you mentioned, you know, kind of inside run and stuff like that. I've seen that you have the ability to kind of play all over the line. Is that right?
Yeah, yes, sir. I can play all five positions.
So do you have a position that you're planning on playing when you enter college, or is that kind of still to be decided?
I've actually been told that I have a high chance of me starting at either left or right tackle.
At left or right tackle, cool. And then, do you know whether you're planning on getting there in January or going to wait till the summer?
Yeah, so I'll be enrolling early Jan.
Cool.
Fantastic. Good stuff, Daniel. Hey, listen, I asked you if you're a fan of the Jaguars. I didn't follow up and ask you if you're a fan of anybody in the NFL. Who are you a fan of? Who's your favorite team?
This is very controversial, but the two teams I support are Rams and Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
curious, what's the reason for that?
Seahawks, just because I liked back in the day, Legions of Boom. I love their defense, and also the offense was amazing at the time with Russell Wilson. And then the Rams, I just love their defense. Like the defense has always been dominant.
Well, that's fun. Rams, you might see some stuff over my shoulder there. The Rams.
Yeah. So I saw that in the background.
Team that I've been cheering for since I was 5 years old. So yeah, some ups and downs there. That's fandom though, isn't it? That's fandom. You got to stick with them in the good times and the bad.
All the way to the end.
All the way to the end. That's right. You a fan of soccer?
Not a massive fan, but I did used to support Arsenal. That's what the majority of my family support.
I like you more and more. That's my wife's team.
Okay, nice.
Like my NFL team and my wife's soccer team. That's great. When
So
you get here, you're going to have to take in some Oklahoma City Thunder games too, see how they do.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. You said you used to play basketball. Do you have a favorite NBA team or anything?
Favorite NBA team would probably be Golden State.
Golden State, that's fair. That's my brother's favorite team too. He's a big Steph Curry fan.
There you go.
Yeah, like the way how their defense is absolutely amazing.
Not a lot of Golden State fans in Oklahoma City, though, I can tell you that. Hey, Daniel, we can't tell you how much we appreciate you doing this from all the way across the pond. Very cool to get to see you, get to know you a little bit, get to talk to you. And we'll be looking for you when you get to Norman, Oklahoma, for sure.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Daniel.